When I say the concept of pre established harmony, the first person that should come to your mind is Leibniz. In this video, we will study this very topic and also the concept of God and monadology. So, what does the concept of pre established harmony mean? Let's understand. Leibniz says, in order to make sure that there is unity in the monads, they must be related. Yet, because monads are windowless, they cannot be related. So, according to Leibniz, every spirit being like a world apart, sufficient to itself, independent of every other created thing, involving the infinite expressing the universe, is as lasting as continuous in its existence and as absolute as the very universe of created beings. Basically, he is saying that in spite of monads being independent, working according to their inner urge, the world is a harmony and a cosmos. The monads do not operate on stories and events beginning and ending at odd intervals. But we have to explain this harmony between the self contained and the exclusive monads. Leibniz assumed that the harmony between the monads has been pre established by God. He says, just because they cannot do or interact with each other because they're being windowless, but because there has to be some reason behind it, the reason is the pre established harmony, which is always associated with God. Leibniz says, God has so arranged the series of monads in their hierarchical order that the change in one is preceded and followed in the other monad, and this change, please make sure, is done in a very harmonious manner. For example, to the beholder, it appears that the change in A is the cause of the change in B. But this is not what Leibniz is saying. He is saying, in reality, the monads being windowless cannot interact with one another. So what appears to us as interaction between the two monads is not an interaction but really a concomitant relation. Now, what is this concomitant relation? Concomitance basically means the fact of existing or occurring together with something else. In other words, we can say that it is usually something that happens along with or right after another event. To give you a very simple example, this basically means if we press the button, the fan begins to move. This is of course taking into consideration that the button is effective and it is operational, but the basic idea behind this is to say that there is a relation, and that relation is of concomitance. Now, how do we understand this fan example with what has been said by Leibniz? Let's try to understand it this way. According to Leibniz, a change in monad, let's say a change in button, takes place as a result of its own preceding movement, but a corresponding and a correlative change takes place in the monad, that is the other monad, or a corresponding and a correlative change takes place in the fan. He's saying that we wrongly interpret the independent but concomitant changes between the fan and the button due to interaction. Similarly, God has arranged the order and the workings of all monads in such a way that a grand plan is in his mind and that is fulfilled. The monads no doubt work independently of all other monads according to their own inner urge, but this inner plan coincides with the realization of the master plan that is in the mind of the God that is also regarded by Leibniz as the creator. This happens because each monad tries to realize the same final end in the mind of the creator, therefore a harmony is reached in the working. This combination of independence and harmony may be computed to different chairs of musicians playing their respective parts separately and so situated that they do not see or even hear one another. I hope you will understand better with this example. Nevertheless, all these musicians who are playing, they keep playing together by following their own notes in such a way that One who hears them all finds them to be in complete harmony, that is wonderfully done and much more perfect than if there had been any connections between them. Thus, this is how he defines the concept of pre-established harmony in monads by God. The next topic is the concept of God and monadology. Leibniz, in his work Theodicee, tries to reconcile science and theology, monadology, and the dogmas of the faith. It seems certain that he was a confirmed theist. Now, theist, as you would know, is a person who believes in the existence of God. But then, his theism is not so intimately connected with his monadology. The reason I say this is because sometimes by God he understands not the creator God but the very harmony of the monads. In this sense, this connection would have been the same as that which has been established by Spinoza, which is as the latter, that is Spinoza, takes God to be the concept of nature. At times, he thinks God to be the very crown in the series of monads, that is being highest in the hierarchical order. But in many places, he also thinks that God is the creator of monads. If the monads are created, then they cease to be eternal, and if the monads are uncreated, then the concept of God basically becomes unnecessary in nature. Hence, from all these arguments and answers, according to Leibniz, we can deduce that monadology and theology do not come together in the system of Leibniz. Note, this is not to say that he did not believe in the concept of God. We have discussed this before too, and I'll say it again. He believed in the concept of God. He has even given the proofs for the existence of God. But here, monadology and theology do not go together in the system. Just to make a quick revision, theology is the systematic study of the nature of the divine, and we can also understand it in the way that it is religious belief. It is taught as an academic discipline, typically in many universities and in many colleges. So coming back to Leibniz, he says again, there's a problem here. If the monad proceeds from God, then how can they be related to God? Now this is a very important question. He describes the monads as proceeding from God by constant radiations. But if the metaphor means that monads emanate from God as a light emanates from the sun or as thought emanates from mind, then these monads are reduced to just being the status of modes of Spinoza. Just to give a quick recap, mode is a property, according to Spinoza, of something that needs a substance in order to exist and cannot exist without a substance. For example, the color orange or feeling hungry, etc. Thus, even when Leibniz consciously tries to recoil from Spinoza, his ghost seems to haunt Leibniz monadology. Question: every spirit being like a world apart, sufficient to itself, independent of every other created thing, involving the infinite, expressing the universe, is as lasting, as continuous in its existence, and as absolute as the very universe of created beings, is the word of. The correct answer is Leibniz. Here he is talking about the concept of pre-established harmony. He's basically saying, in spite of monads being independent, working according to their own inner urge, the world is a harmony and a cosmos which is because of God.